Sorry, I'm recording.
Hi, it's Doughty. I'm here at Market in Houston and releasing my latest collection, which is called New Vintage. I've designed this collection to be a bridging line between the old and the new conceptually, with designs that resonate with the traditions that are familiar to us, but in fabric and color that is now, that we want to see. So one of the fun things that I did this time is I looked for really basic structures in patterns to support the collection that demonstrated how the fabric holds the spaces in the quilts. Right? So how to use a big scale print in a space where it still looks interesting and it draws in all the other fabrics into what we're doing. So you can see that in some of these quilts. This one has these nice long panels of the bird, complemented by a more medium scale print, surrounded by the plaid, and then finished off with this little border. So this is a really simple quilt to construct, but it's really basically an Amish bar quilt used with modern fabric. So we've got these more big scale, vibrant pieces, but they hold that space. It wouldn't be, to me, as interesting in a solid fabric just because I like print. Where this quilt is my interpretation of an Australian wagga. Now the waggas were made by seriously battlers, people that didn't have a lot of money, and they would just piece together their odd scraps. We all know that story about quilting, but then surrounding it with the beautiful borders, using the bird in its glorious capacity, then that super hot plaid, which I think is very now. We're seeing a lot of plaids on the runway in fashion. It's coming into homewares. It's something that we're getting more and more used to, and I look at that as a palette consolidator. It's got the graphic integrity of a stripe, but a little more texture and a little more interest. Then I moved into, I wanted to just play a little bit when I'm thinking about vintage. I'm thinking about cameos and vintage jewelry. So I did a little silhouette quilt. And here, this is a demonstration. This was made by my good friend Wendy Williams. She's most well known for using wool felt. This is felted wool by Sue Spargo. And then Wendy's added in nice decorative stitches in there with eleganza threads. But this is a great quilt for working in colorways and creating line. We've got the lighter fabrics moving up and down and the warmer colors moving horizontally. And again, using the plaid to consolidate the border. And then finally, when I'm thinking about older traditions, I always look at hexagons. So these are 2-inch hexagons made into a frame circling some of the larger scale prints. So you're getting that feeling of handwork, but you're also allowing yourself to have a little bit of relief with the big scale prints. So these multicolored birds really capture your attention in that little window. And this cute little one, I'm not very well known for doing pretty things, but I loved this as a real simple square patch and then added in this curvy border to bring in the illusion of something that's been framed. So it's super easy to construct, but it might be a challenge or a new skill for somebody to learn how to do this kind of applique in the outside border. So we'll be distributing all of these patterns. And I'm also using my book, Organic Applique, and working on some of the concepts that are in here. Like, for example, this Boro stitched cushion. These are all the scraps from when I was making my quilts, and then I've just used the eleganza threads to applique them down. And that technique is in my book, and I've got another one on the way with that. So it's been a lot of fun working on New Vintage. I really enjoyed making all these quilts in 5 weeks. And I am really happy to talk to you about it if you're here at Market, or contact me in the shop at materialobsession.com.au or on Instagram at madobsgirl. And yeah, I hope you have just as much fun playing with it as I did.